and I'll play like Promise. I'm like, all right. Hey, what we're going to do is I'm going to play this song for you, kids, and I want you to explore your emotions and draw what you feel. And one day it freaked me out. This is, I like to joke around, but one day I got freaked out a little bit. I played, I know it might surprise some of you for Harold Ray to confess to such a thing, but I did play some Bach. And I said, it's around Halloween time, kids. I'm going to play some scary music. I want you to draw what scares you. And this little girl drew ghosts that basically they were penises. And instead of feet, they had testicles. And now you might write it off to coincidence, but there was stubble on the testicles, which to me was the giveaway. And I had one of those moments where I'm like, do I take this to the principal? Will they think it was me? I'm like, so I said that day, I'll collect all the art because it's all so good. And I threw it away. I'm not a man to step in these situations. I have no backbone. This is So You Think You Have Nerves of Steel. I see a few new faces in the crowd out there, and I see some repeats, retreads. This is a variety show we do here at the Hungry Brain every month. It was started by me and Todd Dills, who's in town from Nashville, and C.T. Ballantyne, who's in the back looking like Run DMC. And he did defeat me at a rap battle last month, so it's only appropriate that he should look like DMC. He rapped his ass off, man. I mean, literally, if you look at his skinny jeans, there ain't no ass in there. It could just be the cut of the pants, but I don't know. That's true. That's true. We could do some mama rap if you want. We decided to start this show called Nerves of Steel. It was CT's idea. And the whole idea was supposed to be to get people to come up here and do shit that scared them. And it sort of didn't work out exactly like that, but it grew into this other thing. And now it's a variety show we do here at the Hungry Brain with Dan and Merle and the rest of the cast. A round of applause for our bartender, Dan. He'll be pouring drinks all night. Yeah. Dan is a man who lives in the past. Most of America right now is protesting Wall Street, and Dan went to Vietnam, so... He's fresh back. He can tell you about Ho Chi Minh City if you ask him, but only if you tip. And we're going to go ahead and get the show started tonight. Now, we have a special theme this evening, which makes me particularly proud because, the only reason I really do this show is because this son of a bitch right here, Todd Dills, told me that maybe a record scout might come out and hear me singing, and I might get signed to a record deal and be the next Hank Williams. I don't want to be Hank Jr. because that motherfucker's on so many pills, he don't even know what planet he's on, but maybe Hank Sr., or Merle Haggard. Or maybe even a man like Waylon Jennings who don't write his own songs, but he can sing them.
Hank Sr. was on pills, too. He died of drugs.
Well, Hank Sr. died respectable like in the back of a limo in a pool of puke.
True.
And Hank Jr. should have died when he drove off that cliff instead of fucking living on, There's a point where it ain't respectable to live. A man should die. But he didn't do it. And he probably should have. But that's a different story. I probably just fucked myself on that Nashville career, talent scout, if you're out there. But I agreed to do this show because I was told by Dills in a confessional moment after he fed me a bunch of bourbon that if I came out here and worked as a janitor, a thankless job, that I could perhaps get, with the sheer brunt of talent that I display on a monthly basis, I might be able to get signed to a record deal. And here I stand in bad clothes before your ugly asses, and I ain't got no record deal. But it still is a happy occasion because the the gang's all here. It's Old Home Week at the Nerves of Steel show. We got the second-hand crew in town. We got a great lineup for you this evening. Joe Mino, Rob Funderburk, Mark Baez, Dills himself, and some of his frequent collaborators. C.T. Ballantyne's going to play with his band, and we got Good Evening up here on stage, and the hits just keep on coming, folks. So let's go ahead and get back to Good Evening and let them play a little bit for you here, and we'll get rolling, and then we'll have C.T. Ballantyne come up here and give you a public service announcement about something very important. So a round of applause for Good Evening, everybody.
Thinking I approve of myself, just like like sugar in your vein. There's sweetness and there's pain, and something else I'm not entirely sure. I'm entitled to your sympathy. I suspect it's only a ruse meant to excuse my iniquities. And I'm not the type to defend, not inclined to repent, not today. I just hope there comes a time when I can open up my mind and mean what I say. But there's no day like someday. No, there's no day like someday. But maybe today. Don't want nobody in this room rushing to assume that I'm depressed. But if it weren't for all of you, I'd probably be in my tomb. God knows I need the rest. I keep forgetting there's more. Didn't mention before what I came to say. It's just that life's so sad and mysterious, so having you here with us makes it seem okay. And every day's a mistake we fail to make like we should. So don't hide it all inside or cover your shame up with your pride. You can't be understood. There's no day like someday. No, there's no day like someday. But maybe today's the day like someday. Or there's no day like someday, but maybe today. Thank you.